Somebody's got to work while the rest of our friends are over having the most amazing time at the CHGO golf outing today. I am Cobb, the Avenger.
I don't know what this is.
I can shoot footballs out of my wrists like Caleb can in the
Where'd your neck go? Where'd your neck go doing this?
Avenger Carm here for you today, alongside my handy dandy best buddy, who is a true Avenger, Nicholas Moreano. The Bears are practicing. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast. If you missed yesterday's show and all the Avenger action, that's what that was about. CHGO Bears training camp coverage is presented by Ray Chevrolet. Shop the Freedom to sales event. Freedom to Save sales event. Thank you. All month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet, my guys, in Fox Lake, or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. Nick, together, let's pod. We do best and worst to start the show, buddy. So give it to me. Give me your best and worst. I'm still confused. To me, this is day 4. You had player report day to me is day 1, but this is their third day on the practice field. So I don't know why I'm having trouble with the semantics here, but whatever. Third practice day, day 4 training camp. Your best and worst. What do you got?
Yeah, so I think for the best, and look, you can look at this both ways, and I think this is how I'm going to treat my best and worst for this practice number 3. But the best was seeing the advantage is always going to go to the defense when they're not in pads, Mark. But when Montez Sweat wanted to take over practice, he took over, and he was able to get a sack. What would have been a sack on Caleb Williams on one play in tier periods, and then on the very next play, this is against that right side, which would be Darnell right side again, no pads, but he was able to also collapse the pocket, force Caleb Williams to run up into the middle of the defense because he's getting around the edge. He's showing that yes, he is one of the better pass rushers in this league, but again, a caveat. There is no pads on. The advantage is going to go to the defense. I think when I go to my worst now, Mark, in this practice, like we're seeing a lot of the quick passes, the shorter passes, and I think for me, when your defensive line is getting back into the backfield, I wonder you're not seeing, I guess, the full capacity of the play. So my worst is that even though the defensive line is doing its thing, Montez Sweat specifically, we're still again, they're only a third practice of training camp, but I still want to see more of the downfield throws. Like that is still something I'm waiting to see a little bit more of. We saw it a nice sort of Tyler Scott in yesterday's practice in 7-on-7. I want to see those big time over the middle throws in the team period. We haven't had a big chance or a chance to really see that play out yet, but I'm still kind of waiting to see it.
Fair enough. It was a tough practice for all of us in the media today. I got to be honest. They sent us, but our viewpoint was like we were deep in the end zone, and the Bears were standing up, and we had to look over them from a distance. It was not an easy vantage point, but that's why you listen to the CHGO Bears podcast, because we can battle through these things. I'm going to give my best to the 2-minute drill. Look, they were able to move the football. That was big. Bunch of completions in there. Rome had one, Keenan had one, DJ had one on a 4th and 3. Cairo banged down the field goal. So, the Bears executing when it matters most. I'll a little bit boogieing on where you were at there, Nick, but the 2-minute drill for me was a highlight. And so I'm just focused on the offense, right? And so, your other side of it, the defense getting after it. I mean, they were far ahead early on. So I just, to me, the offense still, at least half the time, looks like a work in progress, which is where it should be. But, we're all dreaming it big here with the Caleb impact. So it's getting better. It's moving in the right direction. Everything's fine, and I'm impatient all at the same time of just wanting to see it. Like, just I'm like, let's see it zing. And for a good portion of today, like the D was like, oh wow, they could basically sack Caleb on every single play right now. That's what it looked like. So, it's and then afterwards, we get to talk to 3 players each day, plus Matt Eberflus, and we'll get into a bunch of Tevin Jenkins here. But Tevin's biggest I asked him like, what are you seeing from Caleb lately that you like? He's like his pocket presence, the way he steps up, and like he knows that if the 5 and the 3 are coming, that he can just step up and boom, there's 20 yards right there. So Caleb did run the ball a lot today, which I didn't think was a good thing. But then Tevin, the way he put it, maybe it was a good thing that he was running with the football.
Yeah, and like there was some reps too where, I had jotted down in my notes, like, okay, this looks like a legit play where Caleb does evade the rush, where he's able to kind of change direction and extend the play. And obviously that's what he was known for at USC. And again, that goes to that pocket presence that Tevin Jenkins was talking about. And what Eberflus was telling us is that when those plays happen, it's just a scramble drill for both the offense and defense. They're going to have to work on that throughout the regular season. But like it is tough to gauge, like, is this really the best outcome on this rep, because you're trying to see what it looks like on schedule, even though that's not what it's going to be like in the regular season, but you do have to find that balance for sure.
Yeah. Tevin was a interesting cat today. He's been wanting to stay here, been vocal about it. The Bears, when he was asked in the offseason, like, no interest right now from the Bears as far as talking contract. And then his group did re-engage, and he told us today that they have to wait until after the bye week. So into October is when the Bears maybe will be willing to engage with Tevin, see how he looks at the beginning of the season. And it was interesting too that he said that he is spending a boatload of dollars on his body. Dude's going out and looking for different chefs. He's, he mentioned Wendy's and Whataburger as things that he's cutting out. He's talking about just, he's not a big, he said, he's not a big massage guy. I don't understand that. Massages are amazing. Why wouldn't you want to get a massage every day? I wish I was rich. I literally would get a massage maybe twice a day.
I just got a Swedish massage like this a couple days ago. Like that is the way to go if you're having some kinks or whatever. Like, yes.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't want somebody rubbing them? Don't get crazy out there in CHGO Sportsland. But like, I mean, Jesus, you're not a big massage guy. You're a big dude in a lot of pain. I would think you would want to get some attention there. But the point is that he's making huge investment in himself. And then I just see Gary with the comment, about the leader thing, because as was discussed on yesterday's show, we were wondering who the vocal leader was. And handy dandy Carm here, because I love you guys, made it the first question today, like, who's the vocal leader? And he said that it was Ryan Bates. A lot there for you, Nick. I don't know wherever you want to jump off on the old Tevin talk today.
Yeah, well, so I also thought, like, I don't know if with you, Mark, how often you've been there when Tevin's been at the podium, but he kind of seemed a little bit more, I don't know,
calm?
was it lower energy a little bit too, even, because he's usually, I think he's always a pleasure to talk to every time he goes to the podium. But, it was interesting that Ryan Bates, a new guy, obviously stepping into this role where there's a competition at center, is the vocal leader. And I guess you want to have that from your center, but for Tevin Jenkins, who is entering, a contract a year, obviously he's been on this team way longer than Ryan Bates or Coleman Shelton have. Like, I would have thought, I was expecting to hear, like, I see myself as a vocal leader, but it was Ryan Bates taking that role, which I don't have an issue with. I just also was anticipating maybe Tevin also stepping up into that role as well.
Well, right. Dude, you're in your third year. You, when healthy, play the most physical style of football on that offensive line. You're a smart guy. It's got, there's a lot of smart guys on that O-line. I mean, there are a lot of brain power in that room. So, like, I'm sure you're seeing things, but maybe, he's giving way to Bates, who's a veteran, but, this is not like old dog here, completely. So,
yeah.
It does. You kind of got to look at the mentality of that offense. Like, Darnell Wright is chill. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Braxton Jones. I mean, all these guys have huge fires. They wouldn't be in the NFL. They wouldn't be offensive linemen if they weren't. But their personality, when you talk to them, Darnell Wright is chill. Braxton Jones is chill. Tevin is chill. So you got a lot of dudes with that level of calm in there, which maybe doesn't matter at all. But it is sort of interesting that's not necessarily normal to a Bears offensive line. Olin Kreutz was not chill in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know.
I wonder, they just don't have, in terms of a personality standpoint, that enforcer right? That
Yeah.
mean guy. Like you could play with that edge. We've seen Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins, like they play with that. But in terms of like having that hard nose, like this is the guy that you want to have on your offensive line because he sets a tone from a vocal standpoint. Again, it looks like Ryan Bates, that guy. It kind of has the look too with the beard and the tattoos and things like that. But it does seem like that is kind of the missing piece. And we only get to see them on the field, at the podium, in the locker room, but how they're interacting with each other on different bases could show a whole side that maybe we're not really even seeing other than what we do get to see.
I also do wonder on the contract side of things if the Bears might be making a little bit of a calculated error here. Now, I get the injury issues with Tevin. He's, hasn't played a full season, and he's talking about everything he's doing to try to get there, taking inflammation out of his body and everything possible to make his body work for him. But if he gets there and he has the season that he's trying to set himself up to be, that price is going way up, right? Versus, I mean, maybe you get some level of value making a gamble on a guy right now. It could come back to bite you. Could, but I don't see Tevin as a guy that's just going to get paid and stop working. I would bet against that. And you do know, I think if you were going to grade people strictly on talent on the offensive line, Tevin's 1 or 2. You want to put Darnell Wright 1, that's fine. No argument. But then Tevin is clearly second.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think he's looking at the contract that his buddy Quinn Myers signed with the Broncos and seeing that money. And he said that he also has worked with him through he's worked with him in the offseason. So it's like, yeah, that's if you're looking for goals and things to kind of set yourself right for the next 3-4 years, you need to be on the field, take those next steps as a player, and prove yourself in this offense. And it's a big year for Tevin Jenkins. So, selfishly, I want him to get that contract because he's been through a lot. And I think when he is available, he is one of the better guards on the football field.
Big year for Tevin. Big year, big day for us with the golf outing. No Steven today. Brenna Haupt is helping us produce all the way from PHLY, which we greatly, greatly appreciate today. So thank you, Brenna. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're just getting us for Bears content. We're with you most every day in training camp at 2 o'clock, depending on their schedule. That might move around. But after every training camp practice, we have a show during the year, Monday through Friday at noon, and then pre and post game for every game. You want to be a subscriber to the CHGO Bears podcast. It's good for your health. You also want to get your Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead. Quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays, the independent sunglasses company, offering a world-class product that rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shades have durable frames, crystal clear optics, the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures like going to Bears training camp. They've got your style in your favorite color. Nick just bought a new pair. He's looking fantastic as always. Hard to, Nick's just always got it going on here. Shady Rays with the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair backed by the lost or broken replacements. You lose them, you break them. Don't sweat it. They're giving you a new one. And if you don't love your shades, they'll give you a new pair worry-free within 30 days. No risk when you shop. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays giving out the best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use that code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Yeah, everyone go check out Shady Rays. And everyone also has to check out our friends at ComEd and Carm. It's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being for all of us who share it.
That's exactly right, Nicholas Moreano. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you got one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
So, Mark, what should business owners do?
They should go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plans today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Carm, did you say ComEd.com/clean?
That's right. Go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come. All right, Nicholas. Bunch of people at the podium today. Bunch of guys on that defensive line. They got to play better if the Bears defense is going to be elite. One of those guys is DeMarcus Walker. He makes both the appearance to the media today and impact on the field. We're seeing a little bit of D-Walk. You're paying attention to our guy. You know what? I guess what stood out media-wise is that he was pissed off at the LA media for painting Caleb as this prima donna, which he's not. He's like, he's a great kid, man. So shut the hell up. But I think a lot of the Bears actually had this preconceived notion that Caleb was something that he isn't, and they're like legit mad about it because they see like I guess in quote unquote the power of the media that they don't necessarily like.
Yeah, and well, I like DeMarcus Walker how he approached that whole situation, because you hear all this stuff, and like all of us, we heard these things about Caleb, but then even as we got to see him in person and see how he acts with the media and how he answers questions and just kind of learning more about him, you get to understand who he is, and that's what DeMarcus Walker is all about: learning who the person is and actually getting to know him. So I like just how he approached that. And like, yes, you have this preconceived notion maybe because of outside noise, but once he got to finally actually meet Caleb, complete, opposite, like what we've been telling people about Caleb in terms of some of the rumors that were circulating around him. But he does how he speaks, Carm, even though he wasn't maybe as productive as a lot of people want him to be last season, he does have good leadership qualities, just how he kind of presents himself, how he's answering questions, even the whole thing, be a bully, which I thought was pretty funny at the end to kind of get the most out of some of his teammates. You're seeing how guys react. Some guys are going to react differently with how you have those certain leadership qualities, but I like how DeMarcus Walker, carries himself and, just interacts with his teammates.
Yeah, the bullying thing was funny because he was making a whole lot of noise, and he was asked about, hey, do you like it and what you're seeing from the offense as far as fighting back? And he's, yeah, bullying works. Because, he's trying to, he called it like your little brother. He called the Bears offense his little brother that he's poking at all the time. And he's waiting for them. You want him to swing back. And finally, the Bears offense swung back, which it does sort of speak to what we're talking about with Tevin, Nick. And the offensive line and that personality. Like the defense is just a bunch of wild and crazy dudes, whereas the offense is kind of chill. Like DJ, chill. Tevin, chill. We just want, the whole Khalil Herbert, chill. I want to talk about Khalil Herbert in a minute here. But the other thing with Walk today and what it was last year, they'll move him inside, they'll move him outside. In your nerd football Nicholas Moreano, dominator on the high school field, expert analysis. Do you like him more inside or outside?
Well, I mean, he was more productive inside when he was playing for the Tennessee Titans in that the year before the Bears acquired him than he was outside. I mean, he does have, I think, the quick get off, and he called himself a bull rusher, right? He has that power, and that's why he went to that camp that had Von Miller, Epinesa, the guys like that, with also Eric Washington, to kind of learn, different techniques. But his ability to move inside was a valued trait when the Bears were, signing him this 3-year, $30+ million deal. So I do like what he can present there. It's just when you do that, you do need to have guys step up on the outside. I know he brought up Dominique Robinson as a guy, and you have guys like Austin Booker and Jacob Martin, but when you hear those three names, we'll have to wait on Booker, but it doesn't instill very much confidence that those three, the guy opposite of Montez, is going to be very productive. But I do like what Walker can do inside, and we saw that some of the end of the team period, and he had one of the rushes there, Mark, where he forced Caleb Williams to try to extend a play because he was able to kind of beat his man. So, yeah, it's going to be something that Eric Washington, Matt Eberflus, Travis Smith, the D-line coach, are going to, just mess around with and see how they can get the most out of the piece that they got.
I mean, I like the versatility. I get it. That is, but I'd also like to see him. I mean, the Bears need help on the outside. I'm more interested to see what Jervon and Billings and company can, like, there's enough in there that I'd like to see those guys get those reps. Outside, I mean, sure, if Dominique Robinson's going to make some huge jump here, and I've had my eyes on him a ton. Dom Rob looks good,
Yeah.
right?
He looks. I mean, we were talking about guys if they were to tackle you in high school. We were talking about Jack Sanborn for a little bit. Like, yeah, that would suck getting tackled by Sandgod. But then Dominique Robinson was there. It's like, oh yeah, that would suck too because he's a big dude. I mean, it just hasn't all come together for him. He's still learning the position, but yeah, like who was it that said they're not impressed by how people look condition wise? We've had so many press conferences. But it's not what the conditioning or how conditioned they are. It's like you got to show up on Sundays, and that's what Dominique Robinson needs to do. First, he needs to be active on Sundays, and then show up for Sundays.
Sunday is what matters, baby. Jalen Johnson taught me that the other day. Hey, Jalen, see anybody that you're really impressed with being in shape?
Oh, yep.
Excuse me. Shape, Carm. Who are you? Don't care about that. What are they gonna do on Sunday? Okay. Fair enough, Jalen. No problem. I get it. All right. Let us pivot, Nicholas.
Pivot.
Well, and the Dom Rob thing, yeah, I was, talking about high school with Sanborn and Dom Rob, and imagine what those guys were like in high school and how terrifying they were. But he has been, just at least me watching the drills, he looks super quick off the ball to me, but that doesn't mean it's going to change. If I'm trying to be I'd love to see Dom Rob be successful. Dude's a great guy, big fan, but feels like the hourglass is almost completely empty right there as far as his time with the Bears. But that need is still there, and Yannick Ngakoue is talking to the Dolphins, and it doesn't seem like the Bears are bringing him back. So maybe there actually will be an opportunity there. We'll see. A lot of tidbits today from practice, but can I shout out my guy Khalil Herbert? Do you have any idea why I'm bringing up Khalil Herbert, Nick? From his
No, I'm not. I'm curious to see where Carm's mind went with the Khalil Herbert. What you got?
So we talked about Khalil Herbert on the show the other day, and his group retweeted it. So thank you. And I just think there's a lot of, look, the Bears went out and paid DeAndre Swift. That's got to irk Khalil Herbert. Like, he's got to think like, look, have I been not playing well for you? I know I got hurt last year, but the year prior, I led the NFL in yards per carry. I mean, this guy's got pride in his performance. And whenever he gets the ball right now, he is like Forrest Gump. He runs his, he takes the hand up, runs through the line, and he just keeps going and going and going all the way to the end zone, like every time. Catches a pass from Caleb, dude's gonna run 40 yards afterwards. Just like a commitment to excellence. I'm just seeing a lot of pride in the way he's going about his business on the practice field. Don't know if you noticed that, but if you haven't, check it out. The guy is, and everyone's working hard out there, so it's hard to separate yourself that way. But for me, at least, Herbert's, what he's trying to put out there and what he's trying to show the Bears is obvious that he is like, you're getting my best and then some.
Yeah, and too, just even watching him as a pass catcher, Carm, like he looks more comfortable catching the football. One of the clips I think we put on our CHGO Bears Twitter account, where it like an over shoulder catch down the left sideline. It's not just a gimme. Obviously, when you're talking about certain types of catches, you have to locate the ball in the helmet, sun in the eye, all this stuff. But like, seeing him, even like there's been a lot of passes to the running backs so far through these first 3 training camp practices. And I think that is going to be a way, if you're trying to show to Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, Shane Waldron, you need to prove that not only can you run between the tackles on a run play, but if you are asked to be an option as a receiver, you're going to be a reliable target for your rookie quarterback. So I do like what I'm seeing from Kale. I really like what I'm seeing from Roshan, DeAndre. Like DeAndre Swift, Carm, he does have an extra gear. Like even if like he was supposedly being tackled and they'll kind of let the running back still do their thing, it's like he has some juice, he has some wiggle, and he does have that burst when he gets into the open field.
No doubt. hopefully that whole room is going to be a big time strength for the Bears. And I do think they're going to catch a lot of balls out of the backfield. All right, let's get to the Caleb in the 2 minute here. What'd you think of the
Maybe
quarterback today,
Mark.
Nick?
I'm
Yeah.
looking at our time. I think isn't it close to telling us our, I
Oh
will
yeah, no, that's a
before
good point.
yeah. Hey, before we talk about that 2-minute drill that Mark was just highlighting there, I gotta tell everybody about True Fan Travel. It is your passport to the world of sports. Over 8,000 plus fans traveled over 145 plus trips. You don't just watch the game, you live it with True Fan Travel, and travel to the most sought after games worldwide, from football to baseball, basketball, soccer, and plenty more. You can custom travel packages that include tickets, 4 to 5-star accommodations, and unique local experiences, making it an unforgettable sports getaway. And exclusive meet and greets with former players, shake hands, snap photos, and share moments with legendary former players of your favorite sports. And look, it's hassle-free travel planning by travel experts who make sure every detail is covered, from game day to excursions. And you have to explore the wide selection of destinations featuring iconic sports cities and hidden gems where the spirit of the game comes alive. And True Fan Travel is your trusted travel partner for professional sports betting around the world. And of course, we are heading to London. You get that 4 to 5-star hotel accommodation, welcome event held at favorite local pubs, a private boat cruise on the River Thames, all-inclusive tailgate party close to the stadium, upper level ticket to the Bears game, which is going to be tough to get. So if you book it with True Fan Travel, you get that ticket. And of course, you have the transportation, the airport transfers to and from the game, on-site trip coordinators, breakfast at the hotel every morning, and you get to meet and greet the CHGO Bears team. So I think that's just a little extra incentive there if you're looking to, book this trip to go to this awesome event that we have going on, and you have till July 31st. So it is coming up, you guys. So head to truefantravel.com to make your deposit and secure your spot.
9 days, get in, which means, by the way, in 10 days, the Bears will be opening up training camp, opening up the Hall of Fame game, playing in the Hall of Fame game. That's what I'm trying to say. Hey, and you know who will be there, at least in spirit? It's our friends at Ray Chevrolet. As the first draft pick and the right new Chevy in the right place for you. Visit our partner this July. Shop the Freedom to Save sales event. It's going on all month long on Route 12 in Fox Lake, or of course at raychevrolet.com. They're one of the top selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest. They've got the perfect tailgate vehicle for you. You can get $12,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado. You can lease the 2024 Chevy Trax for only $188 a month for 24 months. You could shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. And if you heard of Ray Chevrolet, then I think you've heard of the Ray Price Promise. It's their guarantee to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever. No price changing, no add-ons, no hidden fees ever. That means incredible prices that we're talking about right now. You'll see those the very same when you shop Ray Chevy in store or shop online. Shop the Freedom to Save sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. 2-minute drill, money on the line, 4th and 3. Caleb coming through. Tevin talking about his pocket presence. The defense, DeMarcus Walker giving him some love. Same thing with Kyler. There is love all around for the Bears quarterback, who's I think scratching the surface of what he's going to be here, Nick.
Yeah, no, and I think that's honestly what you want to see. And we actually didn't get to see how that drive could have ended because of time constraints with how the NFL wants training camp practices to be a certain time. So by the time they got to a certain down that 4th down play, they ended up actually kicking a field goal where they still had, I think it was like 20, or maybe I'm mistaken, but they had a couple of seconds still left on the clock, an opportunity to possibly get a touchdown. But that's what you want to see from Caleb, operating the offense, getting the ball out quickly. And I think just another theme, I think, Mark, is that Caleb is distributing to all of his playmakers. It's not like he's honing in on just like a DJ Moore or, a Keenan Allen. Like if you're open and Caleb sees you, he's throwing the football. There's no favoritism happening here. It's everybody eats in this offense right now.
which I would think keeps everybody happy. The Bears are just a bunch of happy campers there going through training camp. The pads come on, by the way, on Saturday. Tomorrow, a select group of Bears fans, I don't exactly know who these people are, but there is going to be actually fans there, which Flus talked about being excited, get that energy up, get the fans in there. Apparently the media is not providing enough energy for the Flus right now, which, I take that personally, Flus. I think our energy has been excellent. Matt Eberflus was asked today before the presser. Somehow they were talking about movies, and they asked the Flus what his favorite movie was, and the dude busted out Forrest Gump. He Forrest Gumped. It's such a Flus call.
Yeah, such a Flus call. It's again a good movie. I'm not like go after we wrap up a day of Bears training camp. I got to turn on a movie. You know what movie I'm turning on? The freaking Avengers. That's what I'm doing, not Forrest Gump.
Well, that's the difference between you and Flus, buddy. He is all about Gump and Bubba Gump and Jenny and Mama and Dr. Peppers and running and never stopping. That's what the Flus is in. The Flus loves Forrest Gump, which I think that's just beautiful. The Flus is unbelievable right now. Dude with his hair. I mean, it looks. How does he do it? Day in and day out. I got to have a conversation with the Flus about what's going on over there.
And apparently he's going to provide some lemonade for the media there, Carm. Is that? I doubt we get lemonade. The shade is nice though.
He was talking about our shade, and I was kind of like, because they put canopies up. Hoke talked about this the other day. So, Flus wants to add on. Flus is trying to level up. It's all about leveling up. We got you the shade. Now we're going to get you the lemonade. We know that you can't see it from over there. That kind of sucks. But, hey, at least you can have a nice, delicious beverage to keep your palate satisfied as you're watching Bears training camp situation when it's about to get super crowded out there. I can't wait for Greg Braggs to make his debut. And by the way, tomorrow I am not going to be here because I'm trying out to be a U.S. Open ball boy. True story, my dream. So Hogue's back, Nick's here. And then Wednesday, the Bears have a day off from practice before getting back at it on Thursday. So be back out there on Thursday. Nick, I'll miss you. All right. Couple things as far as notes of people practicing today. Mercedes Lewis was back. Simba Webster, Noah Sewell. Those guys were remaining out. Braxton Jones, TJ Edwards. It looked like they were doing a little bit more today, Nick. I especially Braxton Jones, at least I noticed him the most. He seemed like it looked like a near full practice for Braxton from what I could tell.
So I'm like scrolling through my notes here, Mark, because I was trying to pay attention to who was in, who was out. I think the big thing, Ryan Bates was back at center one today when Coleman Shelton was the center in Sunday's practice. So we're still having the competition going, and Ryan Bates was center number one. But I did notice that so one of the team periods, there's Larry Borum, 75 at left tackle.
Okay.
I think when we're looking, I think it was the team periods, Mark, especially towards the end of practice, 75, Larry Borum was still in for, I have him here at the end here, Bates still at center. So it looked like Larry Borum, especially towards the end of practice, got those reps at the left tackle. But Braxton Jones, like what you were just saying, was doing he's still practicing. But TJ Edwards as well. You did see a lot of Sanborn in there during the team periods.
Brax, that is why they pay the big bucks, Nick. Because I was.
It was tough though. Look, it was tough. Like Mark was saying, the vantage point that we had, it was like the end zone view, but then put everybody who's not in on offense and defense in a straight line, and then you have to look over them. So it was tough for me, like taking notes. I know when I'm going to write my notebook, I'm like Caleb Williams completion to his teammates. Like there was somewhere I missed. I'm like, oh, I hate it when I do that too, because I usually get them all down. But yeah, it was a tough vantage point today.
Well, and he had a sweet throw that we did see to Rome, and even in the warm up period, like and you put some videos out too, and it's warm ups. They're NFL quarterbacks. Things are gonna look good, but the touch was just, it was supreme to some nice passes to Cole, solid look with DeAndre Swift. I think you had another one on tape with, I forget, maybe you had the touch to Herbert that you mentioned earlier.
Cole Kmet had a nice reception too.
Yeah. This is I think when Bears fans get out there, you're going to be super excited about what you're seeing. And then you're also going to see exactly what we're seeing too, that the offense is not completely there yet. But you're also hearing from literally everyone that they're progressing. Kyler Gordon had nice words today. Nick tried to get you to not talk about the offense, but just to talk about the Avengers, which was ridiculous. Because Kyler's Spider-Man and all that type of stuff. But I don't get a sense that they're necessarily they're trying to blow Caleb's smoke, really. But they're not going to talk bad about a teammate either. But it seems like, I think it's fair to say, and we've talked about this, that Caleb has won over the entire roster. Am I missing anything here? I don't think so.
No, not at all. I think that would be really accurate to say, because they're not just saying these things because he's the quarterback or a rookie. Like, they see it on the football field. They see how he's challenging them. And I like too, it was Flus and also Tevin Jenkins, when asked about Caleb Williams and the cadence, like, they ironed that out. They sharpened that out. That doesn't seem to be much of an issue anymore, because when we were in OTAs, that was something that, was an inconsistency. You saw false starts. You saw the pre-snap issues before, plays even happened. We're not seeing that as much. And again, Caleb just went back to Ryan Bates' center when Coleman Shelton was the center a day before, and they only had one play that I had marked down where there was a penalty. I don't know if it was either on the offense or defense, but you're seeing, I think, the comfortability with Caleb Williams, the cadence, and how he should be calling things for his offensive linemen, who have had different guys in and out. And so I think that's a credit to him and how he's learned it.
You think he plays in the Hall of Fame game?
For right now, I don't think he does. I think we're going to see a lot of your guy, Tyson Bagent, ripping. Why do I always forget the
Brett
rookie?
Rippin?
Maybe that's, yeah.
Him.
So I don't think we see Caleb, though. We're 9 days away?
10 days away, brother.
10 days? Whew. Yeah, I don't think we see him.
Okay. All right. He's going to play one series, one operational series.
One handoff. Nice little handoff.
We'll get a handoff in there. Something along those lines. Were you
Austin Reed? Austin Reed was the guy I was looking at. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Austin Reed looked good. That guy is one of the, I think, might be top level fourth quarterback in someone's camp all around the NFL. This dude's he's getting it done. All right, Nick. Kyler Gordon, the Avengers. Were you satisfied? Do you feel validated that the Avengers is a thing across the Bears? And even though I don't watch it, and by the way, there's a bunch of people that came up to me today. Herb Howard, Carm, totally with you on the Avengers. I don't. That's for children. I mean, it was across the room. I went up to Larry Mayer. Avengers, like Avengers. I mean, it's
look who. I mean, Larry and you are probably around the same age. Yeah. Look, okay. When it becomes a thing on Hard Knocks, you know exactly where this is going to be credited to. You're welcome, everybody. The Avengers are going to be brought up. But I did like. What'd you say?
That could be your pathway to get on. You might hear the voice of Nicholas Moreano on an Avengers question. Keep going.
But no, outside of the Avenger, like saying that the entire secondary has its own superpowers, I did like Kyler and just the goals that he has for this season, Mark. I know you tweeted off of the Bears account, but all pro, 5+ picks, Pro Bowler. Like, these are things that obviously if you're any football player, you're going to set the bar high, but to be an all pro in this league at that position, that's going to take a really good season for him to be healthy. I also liked his answer on like just the chemistry that him and Jalen Johnson have. And now going into year 3, like they don't have to really verbally say anything. They just can do just a little bit of eye contact and know exactly where each guy needs to be on a specific play. So that's what it's going to take for this secondary that looks at itself very highly to just take that next step where the chemistry is on all levels of the defense and people are making plays, flying around fast, and ultimately creating turnovers.
Yeah. Look, ton of talent back there, and I've always been impressed with Kyler's belief in himself, his competitiveness, and he started out slow. And I was wondering about that draft pick because I loved it at the time because you were taking the third cornerback versus taking the eighth wide receiver or whatever. But then you also thought about, should you have drafted an offensive player to help Justin out? And George Pickens, of course, went to, they picked Brisker 48. Pickens went 52. The Bears could have gone that route. Would it have been a better play? Maybe. But the way they're set up now with Rome and with DJ and with Keenan, and the strength of that secondary, which, Poles addressed in his first draft, it's looking pretty good right now. And Kyler, that's a winning personality. That is a confident dude in his third year in the league. Hopefully we'll see some, whatever his next level is. Herb was asking some upper level questions about, how because Kyler likes to make plays at the line of scrimmage and how he can play off of Montez. I don't know if you had any read on his answer that was kind of bland, or just very basic, he's how he sees it. But it's interesting, thinking a guy like that who likes to be aggressive up there with more help up front. Maybe we'll see Maybe we'll see more plays in the backfield because he's certainly not afraid. That dude is not afraid to get his nose dirty at all.
No, not at all. And having a guy like Montez Sweat, who I think he said something along the lines of occupying a lot of space and can generate force. And I think that's what Montez Sweat was saying. You bull rush and he works off of him. So it's another creative way to use Kyler Gordon, especially let's say the Bears are not generating enough pass rush organically with 4. Well, bring in Kyler Gordon off the slot. He knows the quickest path to the quarterback, working off his DNs, and it's just another wrinkle that Eric Washington, Eberflus, and this defense can work with. I have high expectations for Kyler Gordon. I think if he stays healthy, he can end up being one of those better nickel corners in this league.
Montez Sweat gets the number 82 ranking in the NFL Network's top 100. The Bears finally with a player on there. That's a tip of the cap to good old Montez, who we got to talk to yesterday or whenever it was over the weekend. Any quibbles with 82, or does that feel right to you? That would take a deep,
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm wondering if there were any other edge rushers before him, after him, whatever it may be. But I guess that feels right. I'm curious where Jalen Johnson goes. He's going to be your highest rated Bear. That I wonder if 82 is Montez Sweat. I would assume that none of the linebackers made it. And are the Bears going to have anybody else? Probably not.
I don't think
so. That's probably it.
Yeah. Pidge with a question for us. Do you guys see any difference between any noticeable difference in these practices between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams? Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I think it's just the quick release. When Caleb is asked to get the ball out quickly, he could do it in a way that is noticeably different than Fields. Fields kind of has that elongated throwing motion. Caleb, get ball out. It's really quick how he's able to do it. And if it's a sidearm angle or different angles, he can just get the ball out really quickly. It's not to say that Justin, he just wasn't as consistent with it. And again, that the arm angle kind of thing always made it a lot slower than it could be with a guy like Caleb. So that's what I noticed is the difference so far.
That's a good underlining. Also, and look, it's training camp without pads. There's, it's really hard to get any actual feel for what the Bears have here. But he looks smoother to me. He's got. They both had very, a lot of speed on the ball, but Caleb has it, and there's just a certain level of swagger, the way he carries himself, that's different also. So look, he better be a ton better. Let's just say it like that. But until they get the pads on, until we really start seeing things, I don't think you'll be able to really see the huge difference that the Bears have at quarterback now than what they did. But Vegas certainly believes that he's going to have a significantly better year. His over-under on yards is, I think, right around 3,400. I forget the exact number, which is 700 up from where Justin was. So even as a rookie, having done nothing, maybe that's slightly optimistic, but I don't think so. I mean, I think it seems very realistic right there, that number. And they're somehow, some way, Vegas always seems to know what's up. I don't know. I would assume money goes on the over there, but because Bears fans tend to be optimistic. But I'd be interested to see exactly what the percentage turn out to be on that specific bet. But just a reminder, while we're talking about Justin and Caleb Pidge, and go back to Mitch, it's just it's what Cole Kmet said when he was at the podium a couple days ago. You know that Caleb is going to be in there. They are getting him ready for week 1. They were not getting Justin ready for week 1 when he was a rookie. They were getting ready for him to sit the entire year. That was the plan. They wanted Andy Dalton to start all season long. And even though they had Nick Foles, they made the moronic decision to go to Justin when they hadn't built the offense around him and put him in harm's way. And it was ridiculous, which we all saw in the Browns game, not to go backwards. And then with Mitch, they didn't craft the offense around him. They crafted it around Mike Glennon, who they had signed. And then when they looked at his long neck, pathetic play after 4 games, they're like, all right, you're out of here. Let's go and put in Mitch, which was unfair to Trubisky. Not that he would have gotten, I don't know how high it would have been up for Mitch if they had held him, put him in the most perfect position, but it would have been higher than what he got to. So this is different in that they built the team to try to, make a soft landing spot, and you're the dude. You're taking all the reps as the ones, going against the ones. They're going to mess with you too. All these things should, in addition to his talent level, should play in Caleb's favor.
No doubt about it, Mark. And, just not only is he getting all the reps, but he's getting all the reps with really good talent on the football field as well. So you're here. The Bears are in a good position to maximize what Caleb Williams could potentially do in his rookie season, because you have all these guys lining up at the wide receiver position. Even, Rome is obviously his first year in the NFL, but just having all that talent around him and safety valves like a Cole Kmet and a DeAndre Swift, like it is a whole different situation. But yeah, he's in a good spot, and as long as he keeps progressing through these training camp practices and learns from the mistakes that he's making, the Bears are that over and under on the pass yards that you mentioned earlier. I could see why it's put at the mark that it's at, because if it all hits, like he could realistically reach that total.
All right, at 2:54 p.m. on this fine Monday afternoon, we have come to the point in the show where I do tell you that Tyson Bagent looked good again today.
Didn't he get picked off by Greg Stroman Jr.? Was that a Tyson Bagent?
I didn't see that. I don't know. That didn't happen. I just every day.
I'm trying to remember who.
No, that's right. He did. He did.
He did.
He did.
Everyone does an interception.
Listen, shout out to Kevin Fishbane. Read what Fishbane wrote about him in The Athletic, along with all the content that we're putting out for you. Become a diehard, by the way. We are putting out so much content from training camp that gives you the great info. Nick's 7-on-7s, Hoag's newsletter, my 3 pieces breakdown, and I mean our Discord channel has just been absolutely on fire this training camp. So many thoughts flying around in there that what a community that Discord channel has become. So discount on merch, discount on all our events. Got another golf event coming up in a month at Cog Hill. If you want to come on out, we'd love to see you. So, and also, of course, come to London with us. 9 days to book it. Yes,
Coming up.
It ain't cheap, but the Bears in London, you will not regret that you spent that money. Honestly, I can't imagine that you would. Don't bankrupt yourself. But if you got a little extra in the kitty and you're thinking about something fun to do, Bears London with CHGO, that is a strong choice. All right, Nick, I'm not going to be there tomorrow. What are you looking for as we get to Tuesday and edge towards the first padded practice on Saturday? Anything you'll have your trained eyes on?
Yeah, at first my eyes are always going to go to who's playing center, because if this is going to keep alternating, let's see. Then if it's on schedule, that means Coleman Shelton will be the starting center in Tuesday's practice. We'll have to wait and see. Also, just offensively, again, I'm still looking for a little bit more of those intermediate to deep passes. And if that's what they try to start working on, if it presents itself for Caleb Williams, that'd be great to start seeing a little bit more of that. And then also, I haven't, obviously we've known Gervon Dexter has made plays, especially batting down passes at the line of scrimmage, but I want to try to have a little bit more of a focus just watching him on the interior, just to see what, how he's kind of progressing there and going up against Bates and Davis and guys like that.
Yep. He came off the field at one point today, and there was a lot of noise around it. I don't know if he got tired or what exactly happened there. Did you know what I'm talking about?
I did. I saw the noise, but again, I didn't. That vantage point, Mark, kicked her ass today.
I mean, I'll try to. I don't know. I won't be there tomorrow, so I'll leave that one to you, Nick. But something happened with Gervon where he was coming off. I don't know if it was just it's hot out there. If he just got winded or if something else was going on. And to the chat, I know what Discord is. I hang out in the Discord channel. And to our get out of here, there, NJ, and to Orange Cassidy, my guy. The Discord channel is where it's like Twitter for diehards, basically. Although I wouldn't call it Twitter. It's where all the people that are diehards. We have the private chat that's going on, so people are talking all, 24 hours. Gary Ross, I think, put a post in there at 2 a.m. last night. Probably didn't, but there's a lot of conversation at all times.
Up.
Yeah. It's where Bears fans become even greater Bears fans. That's all I'll describe the Discord channel. Maybe Nick will drop the CHGO Discord channel into. I don't know what that means. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, we'll drop into the CHGO Discord. Yeah, I just drop in there and get in there. I will make that a focus.
Yeah, Nick. Get in there. Hang out. Become a dude. I don't think we had any super chats today. Am I right about that, Brenna? I didn't see any pop through. If there was, I guess we can hit them, but I don't think that is the case, which, that's okay. Y'all didn't want to pay for me and Nick today. It hurts. Yeah. It hurts our hearts.
A little bit.
We'll have to get over it. And yes, the Hogster back tomorrow after his amazing performance on the golf course today. Greg Bragg's out there with 2 sleeves on his knees. Kevin Kadick running around.
Do we know who won or how that is? It still going? I don't even know.
We don't. But what's more important than that? We have softball tonight, Nick. And do you have an update?
Shit. Oh God, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have softball.
And your lovely fiance is under the weather, and we are short one amazing woman to play softball for us tonight. What are the chances that the lovely Stephanie will step up under the gun in the heat, under weather, and make it the Stephanie flu softball game?
It's definitely going to be a game time decision. I haven't even talked to her about it. Like I told you I would talk to her about it. I have not even talked to her about it. So we'll have to see. Any women want to play softball tonight? We need one just in case.
And Gary asking about Crystal. The request to Crystal has already been made. Crystal cannot do it tonight. It's unfortunate, but she's respect to her grandmother who's in town. I believe that was the reason. So we lost Crystal for this evening. But hey. Feel free to raise your hand right now. We are taking all comers. Maybe Steph will do it. Maybe you can hit me up on Twitter. And that's There's lots of women in this chat. Total anarchy, I think, maybe somewhere.
I identify as a woman. Okay. All right.
All right, now we're in the uncomfortable zone. Listen, we're playing the reader tonight. They're 5-1. We don't get it if we don't get a female out there. I don't know. And hey, Greg Hyatt, good question. How's the punter looking? It was interesting today. Torrey Taylor did not punt today. Did you see him punting? I didn't see him punting.
I didn't notice it, but I remember initially we were talking about it. Like we didn't see him like actually punt. Like
right.
There's a lot of gosh, I keep forgetting his name. 37. This is not the alphabetical roster. Damn it.
It's Hightail, Weathertail, Weather something. Bears punter, 37.
37. Where are you?
Training camp. Gary Ross knows his name.
Yeah, and this is not in alphabetical order, so this is going to literally take me forever to find this on the live show.
Whatever his name is, the lefty's solid. I like him.
Garrett is Waitman?
Yeah, there it is. Gary's got Corliss Waitman. The dude, he can boom it. And I'll give another shout out. There is one Bears personnel guy. I got to get his name. But he throws to the receivers. This is maybe played quarterback in high school or maybe played at college somewhere. I don't know. But he's firing balls all day long, and he is on the money. Now, they're like 5-yard throws, 7-yard throws. But if you put me in there, it wouldn't go well. If you put Nick in there in his football downs, I don't think it would go well. This dude is nails. I don't know if you ever noticed this, Nick, but the guy's unbelievable.
When you return from your journey, Mark, we'll have to watch him in person and get his name, get him on the podcast, and it'll be glorious.
Yeah. Total Anarchy, I'm not about names. I don't know your name. I just know you're Total Anarchy. And I just know that 37 with the left foot is phenomenal. And now I know for the millionth time that his name is Corliss Waitman. And Corliss Waitman, I'm going to do a deep dive on Waitman and give you all the things that you could possibly learn about Corliss Leendert Waitman. Is a Belgian-born American football. He's born in Belgium. Wow. I mean, come on. He's 29 years old. God bless Wikipedia. Went to South Alabama from 2014 to 2018. Then he went to Mississippi State. The NCAA denied his extra year of eligibility. Didn't play college football. He was a Steeler, a Raider, a Patriot, a Steeler, a Bronco, a Patriot. And then he signed with the Bears. Waitman can punt, man. And he's got that left foot. But what's more interesting is that literally, again, today, everybody up is back there catching punts.
Oh, yeah, they got... I put down all the... Again, this is just today, and you also didn't have Nasimba Webster out there. He'd be another guy back there. But you had everybody from, as I scroll all the way up to my notes. Man, I took a lot of notes here. You had DJ Moore. You had Velus Jones Jr., Dante Pettis, Roma Dunze, Greg Stroman, Tyreek Stevenson, Tyler Scott. Look, Stevenson has muffed a punt in this practice and yesterday's practice. He's not going to be your punt returner, Tyreek Stevenson. He's just not. But he always goes back there and gets reps. But they literally have almost one side of the football, 11 guys repping at punt returner, which is kind of crazy.
According to my friend Gary Ross on the private chain here, Robbie Picasso is the guy who's firing balls. And Picasso is an offensive assistant, quarterbacks and receivers, entering his first season with the Bears. 11 years of coaching experience, 2 years in the NFL, and 9 at the collegiate level. I want to know where he played, because in his picture does look right here. Robbie Picasso is the man. And $9.99, we cracked the super chat. We got money in the kitty. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chevy Wellington. We always say Braxton Jones is fine. I think he's a liability. No anchor, self-admitted. We all talk playoffs. Can't name a team that went far that didn't have a good tackle.
He improved the anchor. I thought he improved the anchor a little bit last season. Definitely from his rookie year, you could say that. But obviously the Bears, they felt like Braxton this season would be somebody that could still hold it down, still improve, because they thought he was a liability. Maybe they would have looked to not just get Carman Amagaji in the third round, but address that position sooner. So I don't know if I quite agree there.
But they did draft Carman Amagaji,
and
I think that they might have, I don't know, been willing to look at a tackle spot, if they traded back and Rome Odunze wasn't there, but Odunze was there, so they went with the top guy on their board. Honestly, we'll find out what they think about Braxton Jones in the this year and maybe in the next year, but because he's a phenomenal value for them right now as a 5th round draft pick. They're paying him nothing to be the left tackle. It gives him a lot of flexibility with the roster, which you can always use. But if he can't play, then they're going to have to pivot. But Braxton's been fine. But to your point, Chevy Wellington, he hasn't been elite yet. Can he get to the next level? That's it. We'll see. It's a huge challenge for Braxton to level up like the Foos has been talking about. All right. Nick, good to be with you, brother.
Good to be with you too, Mark. I'm wishing you luck for tomorrow. It's a big day. You go out there and do your thing.
Yeah. I'm meeting with my mental skills coach after this and going to do some stretching. I was on the court yesterday playing the game. So, I just going to give the body a little bit of rest today, take a day off from the courts. And then, we're going to get out there. We're going to get loose. And when that ball comes my way, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to roll it to wherever it needs to be rolled. I'm going to bounce it to wherever it needs to be bounced. I'm going to show that I'm a team player. And I'm going to let my hunger pulsate off my body like an Avenger would.
I didn't like that phrase. I didn't like that phrase at all. Pulsate off your body like an Avenger would. But okay, you do that.
That's what Avengers do, Nick. That's what Avengers do. We pulsate. We strategize. We focus. We're steely-eyed. I'm wondering if I should wear my knee braces or not.
Like, oh no, we can't have this guy. He can't even bend down. He can't get the ball.
I don't know if I should because when I play tennis, I put the sleeves on my calves in case my knees bug me, and then I'll bring them up. But I think I got to go sleeveless. Show the youth. Might actually color the hair before I get out there.
I like it. Oh, we got one more super chat actually, really quick.
Okay.
Coach, from Chevy Wellington 999. Coaches always say the most important position on offense beside the QB is the left tackle, but we say he's kind of okay.
Chevy, do we say he's kind of okay? I like him. I like Braxton. I just don't know if he's elite. There's no evidence that he is. So you want to get an elite left tackle, it's going to cost you a lot of dough. I'm hope they're still banking on Braxton turning into it. But you know what? Larry Borum's actually looked okay in his moments of stepping in so far. But of course, again, no pads, so it's really hard to say. Chevy, we appreciate you. You're underlining something that obviously the Bears are well aware of and will be paying close attention to this year. On that note, we will say goodbye for this fine Tuesday. And we will see you tomorrow with Hogue and Nick. And then it's a day off Wednesday, so no show on Wednesday. I'm back on Thursday and over the weekend as training camp rolls on. Hope to see people out there on Saturday when they open it on up. I know it was really tough to get tickets this year, which is a bummer. But I know some of you at least have them for a couple of days. So when you do see us out of training camp, say hi. Let's talk football. Let's talk Bears. Nick,
no doubt.
Good luck tonight. Go beat the Reader. They're 5-1.
Oh, you're not going to be there?
I'm not going to, dude. No,
oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm trying out to be a U.S. Open ball boy. I have to fly there. You have the book, by the way, so don't forget to bring it.
Yeah, I have the book. I do have the book.
You have the book, good. Buddy. Yes. So even if Stephanie can't play, you got to go. Or let me know that you're not going.
No, I'll go. I'll be there.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.